Good afternoon. My name is Jim Waltman. I'm the Executive Director of the Watershed Institute. Happy Earth Day. We're here at the State House in Trenton, New Jersey for a really important hearing today on the issue that faces the state, perhaps none more important. That's the issue of climate change and how our state will prepare itself for the bigger storms, the rising seas, the tremendous power of Mother Nature that has ripped our state apart over the last few decades, causing loss of property and loss of life. Earlier this year, our state Department of Environmental Protection adopted a critical and bold measure called the REAL rule. REAL stands for Resilient Environment and Landscape Rule, designed to protect our state from a future of flooding and disaster, environmental disaster. It's a common sense approach incorporated in this rule that uses the best available science to predict the future of our climate. That means how much are the seas going to rise? How much will the storms get larger, as the scientists say they will? And then modify the rules, our land use rules, to ensure that when we build new structures or make major redevelopment of existing structures, the new buildings will be safe for people to live in for years to come. With me is a terrific collection of experts on the environmental issues, as well as the very real financial and economic issues at play. The REAL rule is about protecting property, lives, the environment, and the future of our state. And it's also about an affordable future for the state of New Jersey. Our first speaker is Robin Sudam. She's a professional in the insurance industry. Robin, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Mike. I'm here to speak on behalf of myself and maybe the thousands of people that work in insurance in New Jersey. I've been an insurance agent for 45 years, meaning the person in the middle between the client and the company. How do we find a policy that they can afford? How do we find a company that will be willing to write their home in our state? These new REAL rules help keep homes resilient. And when homes are resilient, they can withstand loss better. And when homes can withstand loss better, the insurance companies are willing to take part in it. I am fearful that New Jersey could become like Louisiana and Texas and Florida and California, where companies are leaving. We want to keep New Jersey a place where insurance companies stay in the marketplace and help protect our homes and our families. So these rules will help everybody to keep the prices of insurance low, so that when you build that home or improve that home, you're going to have an insurance company that might be willing to write it. I'm very grateful to all the various organizations that have come together to help make these rules and to hopefully keep them in effect. So I'd like next to turn to Angela Lee, who is here on behalf of the Sierra Club.
Thank you, Robin, and thank you, Jim. Thank you, everybody that's here supporting the very important REAL rule package. My name is Angela Ramos-Busset. I am the director for the New Jersey Sierra Club, and we are here today on Earth Day. Happy Earth Day, everybody, because we want to continue to stress the importance of keeping this rule package safe at the DEP, fully implemented. The rules, as Jim mentioned, they were fully adopted back in January of 2026. It is really disappointing that we have to keep defending a package of rules that went through an extreme stakeholder process of years and years in the making, years of scientific input, years of industry input, years of insurance input, and residents input all went into the creation of this rule package. And like I said, it is frustrating that we keep revisiting the same issues, the same misinformation over and over again, when we need to be focusing on protecting the livelihoods, the property, the businesses of the coast of New Jersey and the entirety of the state. New Jersey is it's one of the highest states with risk to sea level rise. It's actually number 2 in the entire country, only after Florida. That is very impressive to hear. And so if the science is telling us we have to adapt, we have to act in order to be proactive, in order to save people, protect livelihoods, right? We're not here talking about things that are just casual. We're talking about people's lives and their ability to have a home. Then we should take action, and instead of just keep talking about whether it's going to be a little bit more expensive for a developer to build a property, or it might take a little bit longer for a developer to build an apartment complex. We have to put matters into perspective. What is more important? Science is telling us what we see every single day. We have to just focus and face the truth and just adapt to our new reality. So Sierra Club has always supported this incredibly important package of rules. We will continue to do so. We thank the department for doing an incredible process and putting forward an incredible package of rules. We thank the Murphy administration for finally adopting a rule package that took over 4 years to get to that point. And we are hopeful and excited to see the implementation of these rules moving forward. Thank you. And next, we'll have my colleague and my friend, Allison McLeod, Executive Director for New Jersey LCV.
Thank you, Anjali, and again, thank you, Jim, and thank you to the advocates here. We're here today because we are standing at a crossroads. New Jersey faces some of the most urgent climate and flooding threats in the nation, and our question should not be if we act, it should be, are we going to act in time? We know the science, we know the stakes, and we know that where and how we build today will affect us for generations, and it will shape if our communities are safe tomorrow. And that is why New Jersey LCV is here today to support keeping the NJPACT regulations in place to help us prepare for the future that is no longer hypothetical, that is here today. These rules are not extreme. They can't rewrite the past, but they say when we know better, we must do better, and we must build smarter. That's the bare minimum, and yet even that minimum is under threat today. And to be clear, failing to act is not neutral. It is a policy decision, and it will have real consequences. It is a choice to continue exposing our families, particularly in low-income and environmental justice communities, to future disasters. And we know that we are not getting assistance from the federal government to recover, so why are we not building smarter? We've seen what happens when we ignore the science. During Hurricane Ida, 30 New Jerseyans lost their lives. People died in their cars on the roadways, and they died in their basement apartments where they expect to be safe in their homes. That heartbreak is preventable, and it should never happen again. We need to build smarter, we need to build safer, and we need to build for the next generation, not the next permit. We have heard the critics that say these rules will slow economic development, but if your definition of economic development thinks that putting people's lives at risk is acceptable, we need a new definition. Homes built today will be standing for 50, for 60 years, and we need to think about those families that will be living in them. And we should acknowledge, as Robin shared, the private sector is already adapting. Insurance companies are adjusting their models, and they are walking away from high-risk areas because they know the science as well. And if we want to preserve affordability for New Jersey's working families, building resiliently is the most fiscally responsible thing to do, as well as the morally correct one. These rules are our best chance to safeguard our neighborhoods and make our state more resilient. And so today we are calling on our legislatures to do the next needed thing, to oppose any attempts to weaken or eliminate the NJPACT rules, and to keep New Jersey safer, stronger, and more prepared, not just for today, but for decades. Thank you. And next up, there is no one who knows the coast more than the American Littoral Society, Lucia Osborne.
Hey y'all, thank you for being here. My name is Lucia Osborne, and I'm speaking on behalf of the American Littoral Society. We're an organization that has spent more than 60 years protecting the coast, its community, and the people and animals that call it home. And, you know, in New Jersey, we get called the Garden State a lot, but anyone at the Littoral Society will tell you that that's a misnomer. We are the coastal state. New Jersey is surrounded by rivers, bays, and estuaries. We border the Atlantic Ocean. And if we count all of the back bays, tidal creeks, we've got over 1,800 miles of tidal shoreline. That is a lot of tidal area, especially in such a small state. For context, that would take you to Florida and back. We've got about 42% of the state's municipalities that border a tidal waterway, and over 9 million New Jersey residents live in coastal counties. So our geography makes us uniquely vulnerable to what happens on the coast. It also makes us uniquely responsible for getting coastal protection right. And that's what the real rules are attempting to do. You know, we were at this hearing earlier about the validity of the real rules, and I will say confusion. I don't want to use the word misinformation. I will use the word confusion about what these rules actually do. And there are opponents who say that, you know, these rules go too far. They are extreme, they are unnecessary, and they are bad for the economy. But the facts tell a very different story. And I want to make it clear that the NJPACT REAL rules are common sense and grounded in science. They are essential for safeguarding people, property, and the future of our coastal economies. So what these rules do is update flood and stormwater standards to reflect the world that we are living in right now. So we're not looking at the world from 50 years ago, which is what some of our existing maps and data that we base building codes and development rules on. Instead, we're considering the stronger storms that we're experiencing, the higher tides, the more frequent flooding, all of those things that New Jersey residents and business owners are experiencing. Climate change is not theoretical, it is not distant, it is not abstract. It is here, and it is reshaping our coastline and infrastructure in our daily lives. And because of that, New Jersey has a responsibility and an obligation to protect people, not the pockets of developers who want to continue building in harm's way without accounting for the risks. New Jersey has been stuck on this merry-go-round of build, flood, repeat. And we just keep going on in this cycle. And this costs taxpayers a lot of money. New Jersey's 5th in the nation for flooding and recovering costs. Again, we're a small state. That's a lot of money. We spent over $50 billion recovering from flood damages. This destabilizes local economies and puts families and businesses at risk. Not only that, but it's also being recognized across industries. So insurance companies are getting wise to this and giving people better rates who factor in resiliency. Moody's credit rating gives better rates to communities that are built with resilience in mind and have features that protect safety and prevent coastal flooding. So the real rules help to break that cycle of build, flood, and repeat. They ensure that the new development that we do and major redevelopment that happen is built to withstand conditions that we know are coming. It reduces the likelihood of catastrophic losses, and it protects taxpayers from footing the bill for preventable damages. It gives coastal towns a fighting chance to remain vibrant, safe, and economically strong in our changing climate. These rules also protect the ecosystems that protect us. So our wetlands, our dunes, our natural flood buffers, these are really important natural things that help to protect us from sea level rise and climate change. If we were to allow unchecked development in these areas, we would weaken the very systems that shield our communities from storm. So the American Littoral Society supports the NJPACT REAL rules because they are rooted in science, grounded in common sense, and aligned with the values of safety, resilience, and stewardship that New Jersey residents deserve. Thank you. And that's everyone. Thank you. Do you want to?
Yeah, thank you. So thanks again for joining us. Thank you, Anjali and Allison, Lucia and Robin. So here's what we need you to do. To celebrate Earth Day today, contact Governor Sherrill's office, urge her to continue to support the real rule, and contact your state senator and members of the assembly and urge them to support the real rule and to reject efforts to overturn it in the state legislature. This is a bold, important piece of rulemaking that our DEP enacted after years and years of input from hundreds and hundreds of people across our state. It's smart, it's forward-thinking, it's based on science, it will save lives, it will save property, and it will keep our state, or make our state, more affordable in the future. So thank you, and happy Earth Day.